Really quick, before we get into everything, please make sure you check out Thrill of Possibility deck boxes over on Etsy and Arcane Collective over on TCG Player. They are just two guys that are in my personal real life play group that I want to show as much support as possible to. If you are in the market for a playmat, head on over to jankmats.com. Use code NERDSNACHOS at checkout for 10% off. If you are looking for an energy drink blend, a relaxation blend, just any hydration blend, whatever you're looking for, you want your water to taste better, you want to get some energy from it, head on over to w.gg, use code NACHOS for 10% off. And if you want your caffeine the old-fashioned way from your coffee, make sure to head over to fixcoffeebrand.com and use code NERDS and NACHOS for 15% off at checkout. All right, let's get into it. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Nerds and Nachos. So first things first, going forward, I know I talked about it a little bit last week. Going forward, Nerds and Nachos will constantly and always and forever be one chip. I'm still not fully announcing the next show until I have it recorded or have the first episode recorded, but it is fully moving out of the planning stages. So Nerds and Nachos is going to stay where I, as an angry man, yell at the clouds for being there. And we're going to have all the guest episodes over on the new show. So that's the housekeeping out of the way. How's y'all's weeks been? Mine was pretty good. I went to my hometown last weekend, and it was fun. It was good. We went originally for my partner to get their driver's license. They have one from another state, so they had to get one for this one. And man, you need non-drivers or non-owners liability insurance when you are trying to get a new license, and that shit's not cheap, especially when you are, out of work, as I am. We are holding off on that, waiting. However, we do have to go back to my hometown sometime in the next month or so, because Neuroscape, I backed them on Kickstarter. I got the 2 starter decks from Neuroscape sent to my parents' house because I didn't know where I was going to be by the time they mailed out. So hey, it was a good move on my part because I'm not in the same apartment that I was when I backed them. And outside of that, I don't know, not a whole lot. I still in the job hunt. Hey, we're still trying to beat the existential dread. It is hard, and I will say, executive dysfunction got hands, man. Like it's rough out here. I spend a lot of my day like trying to work on the new show and trying to work on this show and stuff for my house, but I get a little just lost and hoping for good news, but what can you do? When things are out of your control, it's hard to will them into existence, and so here we are, just stuck waiting. I did pick up a resealed booster pack from GameStop. I posted about it on the socials, and honestly, it was pretty cool. It was not the biggest hits. There were some cool ones like I don't know where the fuck it went. Oh, here we go. Notion Thief, and then the Final Fantasy Secret Lair Culling Ritual. Those are pretty big hits. Something from New Phyrexia. I'm gonna look at them so that I can tell you, and I'll put them all up here. Mostly because once we get into today's topic or this week's topic, there's gonna be so many things to put up here. I would just be completely blocked off, and we're not gonna do that. So we got Invader Parasite from New Phyrexia, Demonic Covenant from what looks like the Duskborn Commander set. Karavek the Merciless, Skullbriar, something behind Skullbriar, Nether Spirit, Magma Phoenix, and then out of the 2 foils in the pack were the only things that were below rare. It was a Shine Chaser from Eldraine, like original Eldraine, and also from original Eldraine was Garen Briggs Squire. I don't know, it was fun. It probably wasn't worth the money that I paid for it, but it was fun to open and see those cards. Some of them do have a little bit of damage on the top, but I don't know, man. What are you gonna do? I'm buying. They're old cards. What are you gonna do? But anyway, let's move on from that. And what are we talking about this week? Well, I might be a week late on this, but y'all notice there's a lot of fucking legendaries being printed in every set. I mean, most notably the Universes Beyond sets. I mean, I'm gonna take 2 examples here. Number 1, Spider-Man. Now, y'all know I'm a Spider-Man defender until I die. I honestly liked the set. I built how many decks from it? 3? I know I built Scarlet Spider Kane, Scarlet Spider Ben Riley, and spectacular, not spectacular, Superior Spider-Man. I built Superior Spider-Man. And Anti-Venom. So four. I built four decks out of that set. I loved that set. I will always go to bat for that set. And as we found out, it's actually one of the top 10 selling sets of all time. So that's really cool. But our second one is Ninja Turtles. And as someone who should be hyped about Ninja Turtles, I'm not. And when I say should be hyped, I will tell you this story. I was 2 years old. The year's 1994. I'm 2 years old. I have contracted pneumonia, pretty bad pneumonia. So I have to be hospitalized. It's that bad. It's pneumonia that is that bad. I have to be hospitalized with an IV. And one of those days, I'm starting to feel better in the hospital. And I had a lot of the 1980, like late 80s Ninja Turtle cartoons on VHS because my sister also loved Ninja Turtles. Now, the issue arises from when I was a child, I had a ritual, you could say, of jumping on the bed when the theme song came on. And if you're smart, you know where this is going already. So I was feeling better from the pneumonia and was watching Ninja Turtles. The theme song came on. I started jumping, and then the IV ripped right out of my arm. You know what? I've bled for Ninja Turtles, so I should be hyped about it. But there's not a whole lot that's grabbing me in this set, and I feel like this is how people felt about Spider-Man. Now I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo on Ninja Turtles. There's a couple cards that I'm like, hell yeah, those are cool. I think there's the Casey Jones that is the all will be one on a stick. There is it's the class rude but cool. I think that goes into my Scarlet Spider Kane deck really easily. But the reason I'm talking about these two sets is they have an overabundance of legendary creatures, with a lot of them being the same creature or the same person. So I want to jump into it from that perspective. So I'm going to start with Spider Man and we're going to go from there. So in Spider Man, we have a lot of legendary creatures and a lot of legendary spider people. I even created a series on, I think it was TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram called Help Me, Dear God Help Me. There are too many spider people. How am I going to understand the Spider Man set? And boy, was I not wrong. There are a lot of legendary spiders. So just looking at Peter Parker on his own, we have Cosmic Spider Man, Sensational Spider Man, Spectacular Spider Man, Peter Parker flipping into Amazing Spider Man, Spider Man Noir, Spider Man Peter Parker, Spider Man Web Slinger, and Symbiote Spider Man. That is a lot. I think that's what, 8 or 9 Spider Man that are just Peter Parker. And if we go to Miles, we've got Miles Morales flipping into Ultimate Spider Man. We have Spider Man, Brooklyn Visionary, and Spider Man, Miles Morales. That is 3 separate Spider Man, all that are Miles Morales, all that are legendary. And then if we look at Spider Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara, we have Spider Man 2099 and Spider Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara. And then if we move to Gwen, there are, I think, there's 4 Gwen Stacy's with 1 special printing. So we have Ghost Spider Gwen Stacy, the mythic from the Welcome decks. There's Gwenom Remorseless, Gwen Stacy flipping into Ghost Spider, Spider Gwen Free Spirit, and then Najila the Blade Blossom, which is Spider Gwen Web Warrior. The reason I'm kind of showcasing this is that's a lot. That's a lot of cards that all share the same name or the same person. And so it can muddy how you talk about the set. I mean, even with Scarlet Spider, there were 2 separate Scarlet Spiders and they didn't really give them differing names. Granted, they don't do that in the comic books, but again, y'all know I've had a problem with the way that Kane was designed from the get-go. He should have had an activated ability to give him Death Touch. I'm not going to get into it again. But y'all know how I feel. So then let's look at the Ninja Turtles set. Let's look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and just how many of the turtles have their own cards and how many of them are. Now this is going to be without the brother pairings, so please keep that in mind, but it doesn't reduce the number. So Michelangelo, we have one, two, three, four, five, six. There's 7. One of them is a sorcery, so 6 creatures. But we have Michelangelo Game Master, Michelangelo Improviser, Michelangelo Mutant BFF, Michelangelo On the Scene, Michelangelo Weirdness to 11, and Michelangelo the Heart. That's a lot. That is 6 cards, all named Michelangelo. And then if you go to Donatello, it's similar. It's another 6 cards, another 6 creatures. We have Donatello, Gadget Master, Mutant Mechanic, Rad Scientist, Turtle Techie, Way with Machines, and the Brains. Not to mention, let's go to Raphael, which also is muddied because of the Baldur's Gate set. You have the Fiendish Savior in there, muddying the waters even more, but then you've got Most Attitude, Ninja Destroyer, Night Watcher, Tough Turtle, Tag Team Tough, and the Muscle. So again, another 6. In varying rarities. There's common, there's uncommon, there's rare, there's mythic. Most of them are mythic, but you know how it is. Like they're all in varying rarities. And so it makes you have to ask which one. And then you go to Leonardo and you have Big Brother, Cutting Edge, Leader in Blue, Worldly Warrior, Sewer Samurai, and the Balance. It's another 6. It's another 6 creatures, all Leonardo, all of differing mana costs and differing rarities. So the issue that I personally have and that other creators have had about this set is, and along with Spider-Man, is there are too many legendary creatures that are all the same name. It becomes hard to look for the card. If you just look for Spider-Man, you're going to come up with so many cards, just so many cards all at once. And the same things, even if you're looking for just a Peter Parker Spider-Man, there's 9 of them. If you're looking for Miles, it gets a little smaller. If you're looking for Gwen, it's smaller. And Miguel, it's even smaller. But then you get to the Turtles, and nothing lowers that count. So if someone says, oh, I'm playing a Leonardo Ninja Turtle deck, you then have to ask which one are you playing? And then they tell you, and maybe they get it wrong. You have to look it up. There's no easy way to, without looking this up beforehand or being very, very informed about which card is which and what they do. There's no very quick way to know what the card is and what the card does. And especially in Commander, what the deck is trying to do. I mean, not very many decks are built like, I hate to use it as an example because I hate like being like, oh, look at this. But I built Scarlet Spider Kane not around, he's there for colors because I wanted a Scarlet Spider Kane deck. It's just a discard loop deck in Rakdos. That's all it is. So not many people are building decks that way. They're going to look at their legendary creature and go, oh, this does something cool. Let me build around that. And now it is up to your pod members and the people you're playing with to tell you what it does and what the deck is trying to do. But at the same time, you also want to know going in before they tell you, before it hits the battlefield, you want to kind of have an understanding about what this deck is going to do. That's totally understandable. That's totally reasonable. And I think the core issue is there's too many legendaries coming out in Universes Beyond. I understand the design space wants to have all of these different ways to build a deck around this creature and build interesting and different types of decks around your favorite Ninja Turtle or your favorite pair of Ninja Turtles. I understand that fully. Not every person whose favorite Ninja Turtle is Raphael wants to build a Raph deck that just does one thing. They don't want to build one that, I mean, as I'm reading them, they're all combat focused, so that makes it even worse. I'm honestly gonna lie. But if you look at Ninja Destroyer and, let's say, what's another mythic one? Tag Team Tough. Tag Team Tough is all about dealing combat damage, him dealing combat damage to get a benefit, whereas Ninja Destroyer wants to take damage to generate red mana. So you can build those two decks very differently. Not everyone wants to build one that's all about attacking. Maybe you want to use Raphael Ninja Destroyer instead of Tag Team Tough so that you can make him indestructible and keep pelting him and pelting him and pelting him with red damage spells to generate more red mana, draw you or impulse draw you more cards, so that then you can build a mono red storm deck out of it. You just keep hitting him with shocks and bolts and all kinds of other red burn spells until you have a ton of excess red mana, so that you can then dump it into one large red X spell to clear out the table. Whereas a lot of the other ones just lend themselves to swinging out at the table and getting a benefit from either attacking or combat damage. So it may be that you don't want to build, the design space is there so that you don't have to build the exact same deck as everyone else is building around the same creature. I do understand that. However, it is at the same time very muddy and hard to understand when each creature is the same name and you don't entirely know what they do or how to respond when picking out your decks when someone says, "Oh yeah, I'm going to play my Leonardo deck." You don't know if they're going to play the Big Brother that gets +1/+0 for each attacking creature and go Voltron. You don't know if they're going to go 5-color with Leonardo the Balance and go +1/+1 counters. It's hard to tell, it's hard to guess unless you are very, very familiar. And even then, with there being so many, it can get so muddied and so cluttered that you just don't know. You just could forget and guess the wrong one. And no one wants to go into a game with the wrong expectation, and then the game happens, and then all of a sudden you're salty because you weren't prepared for the type of game you were about to have. And again, I don't want to rag on this set. If you enjoy Ninja Turtles, I'm very happy for you. Like I've told you, I should be all about this set. I really should be. But I'm not. Just something about it's not grabbing me. Am I going to probably change my mind once I open a booster? Yeah. Did I not go to pre-release because I was at my hometown and I kind of forgot it was last weekend? Also, yeah, so I'll open packs here in the next few days and figure out how I feel about the set once that happens. I do I do love Universes Beyond, and I'm happy that there are different ways to build decks around your favorite Ninja Turtle that don't exactly just narrow you into one focus. I'm happy about that. My issue comes from how hard it becomes for other players and people who may be sitting this set out to understand the cards that you are bringing to the table and the deck that you are bringing to the table before they see the hand play out, before they see the deck play out. That way they'll have the right expectations going into the game, and that helps everyone have a better time. But that's, I've ranted quite a bit today. So hopefully I've made a point. Hopefully it's made sense. If not, I'm sorry. I really wanted to talk about just how many fucking legendaries there are and just how muddy the waters can get if you are sitting the set out or if you just, are a UB hater. But again, if you love Ninja Turtles and you're happy about this set and you love this set, I'm so happy for you. I wish it was me. I love Universes Beyond. I will defend Spider-Man until the fucking day I die, and I will defend this set for you if I need to. But that's enough for me today. If you want to support the show, please make sure to give us a like and a subscribe over here on YouTube. If you're on Amazon, Apple, or Spotify, give us a listen, finish up the listen, and then give us a 5-star review. That just helps out. It lets other people, both of those things, the subscription and the review and the 5 stars, help other people know that they would like this show if they like Magic the Gathering content. If you want to support the show, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com and look for Nerds and Nachos. I think it's actually just patreon.com/nerds and nachos, but I always forget and I never feel super confident when I say it. But we have tiers from $1 all the way up to $100. $5 and above is going to get you a monthly zine sent to your house. You give me an address you're happy with me having, and I hand draw, hand fold, and hand cut these zines out for you. They get sent directly to you. $10 and above, you get a quarterly set of proxies sent directly to you. Now, the people that I use to make these proxies have rolled out foil treatments, so I may be looking into adding foiling treatments for higher subscription tiers. I haven't decided yet fully. We'll see where it goes. I do want to shout out our patrons. That is Sarah, Kate, Ian, Jenny, Grayson, Jake, and Charlie. Thank you all so much for supporting the show. I could not do it without you. All that money goes directly to this show and also directly to my cats to help keep them fed. All right, thank you all so much for watching and for listening, and I hope you have a great week.